Mr. President, we've got calls coming in from all over the country. CCA, WPA, they're all asking for directions. What should I tell them?
Tell them we must win. Tell them that we need to prevail. Tell them, give them a basis of hope so we will have a basic roadmap to victory.
Sir, with respect, that's about as vague as statements come.
Tell them what they need to hear right now. Optimism is key for our success. If you tell them what they need, we will prevail. I will take care of the rest.
Yes, Mr. President.
Now, let's go over this for the sake of clarity.
Yes, Mr. President. Production on our new fleet, the first ships of which will be completed in about 8 months.
And the cost of workforce. What is required?
Well, much of our male population has enlisted in the armed services, so we've got to find a way around that.
Here's a novel idea. Ask the women to work. It's necessary.
Why, that's nonsense! Why? Building ships, making arms, their men's work!
And the men aren't going to be there, are they? What will women do but long for their lovers and twiddle their thumbs?
Perhaps they should try knitting.
Why not sew uniforms instead of quilts? Why not stuff cartridges instead of turkeys?
Because we are at war, and we will remain at war for some time. And we need things more than we ever will need them before.
But sir, women are already at work, doing womanly things!
Yet they have the potential to be much more than they are.
That they do. And I want you to revise our home front war production for this weekend. I want equal pay for women in men's positions so long as they can do the work.
The employers might resist, sir.
Then remind them of their workforce situation. They need workers. And if we promote this, they'll get them, and so will we.
This has never been done before, Mr. President!
And Harry, that change will be everything. And it will be a great deal. But I'd rather be on top than on bottom of the change and be crushed by it.
Get to work at once, sir.
I would like to handle the public relations side of this endeavor.
Yes, my dear.
A moment, please.
Very well, sir.
Mr. President, I'd like to remind you of...
That reminds me, Harry, you need to listen to me. I should think I may not make it through this war. Maybe the war, but not much long after that. When victory rings sweetly through this great country, I must know that you will not stifle the change that has begun. You must always be with the change, never behind it.
You know that I will.
Yes. Yes, I know.
Listen up! Closer, closer. The Ford Motor Company will be ramping up production in the near future as soon as our assembly line positions are filled. Women are not preferred for these positions, but are applicable. I will be here for the next 10 minutes if anyone has any questions.
We had a few questions, wage concerns actually. And if you could tell us what our hours would be like?
Your hours will be long, tiring, repetitive, and altogether worthwhile. You'll be helping your country and you'll be earning a living at the same time.
Nice script. Well, my husband's gone off to Georgia for training, and I'd rather not leave our home.
Script is to weed girls like that out.
What's the pay?
Bit less than any man in the position. I'd imagine that's what you were getting at.
It was. Where do I sign up?
Like this way.
What is it? Letter from Washington, bro. We regret to inform you that the Office of Special Investigation will be issuing subpoenas to your office soon and will conduct a full review of your business practice, whereupon a summary of which you will be sent directly to the President, pending his interpretation on actions to be taken regarding the further treatment of your female employees. Regards, J. Doe, Justice Department.
What do you mean, bro?
Means Washington's got a bone to pick with me. I want you to call the board. Tell them what's going on. No, don't tell them anything. I'd rather them be mad at Washington than the president.
Bro, won't Roosevelt just shut you down if you don't comply?
Roosevelt can have his war or his justice, but he can't have both. Go and call the board members. I need some time alone.
Aight, bro.
Mr. Truman?
Mr. Ford.
It's common knowledge now of our labor dispute.
Knowledge among the elite in Washington is not always common as rye bread, Henry.
Good then. You know your man Roosevelt has inspired this movement that threatens his own war effort. I'll ask this in a rhetorical sense, as I am sure you will well know it.
That I do.
Mr. Vice President, you stand behind this war, I'm sure. Therefore, it is natural to assume that you're a proponent for its speedy conclusion.
I would say so, yes.
It is natural to assume that this internal conflict strives not towards your goal.
If a point you mean to make, commit yourself to that more than you do convincing me.
The point is this: that you have it within your power to decide the fate of your nation, and rightly the world. Letting this labor dispute tear the war effort down, letting the free world fall, is no way to accomplish such moral esteem.
Forget yourself, Mr. Ford. I am no force in Washington. The vice presidency is a longing for purpose, not an exacting of it. While I am but the junior, nothing can be accomplished.
Then wait. Wait for the opportune moment. But do not forget the destruction that this dispute has caused.
Of course, a decision you will have to make. And I pray you see your righteous choice in your dear.
Mr. Truman?
Not all history is word and print. Mr. Ford.
Mr. President, as you are soon to be named leader of the free world, Solomon drunk in your tiny tavern.
Haven't had a sip yet, Henry. Now I will.
Have you thought at all of your situation? Your situation. Now your countries demand action, Mr. President. I once told you this day would come.
Oh, how rightly vultures do detect a carcass.
You may, but my plight will soon be your priority. Take my advice or neglect to do so. Either way, this nation's fate, as it may well be the world now lies with you, sir. Apparently, a man who will lay toast to his fallen senior.
I toast, then, to the greatest man of this era, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. May he rest in peace.
And a good fortune, as it favors the bold.